keep their video on if they want, but please mute as well as do not present any screen. So it's already 5 minutes late. Please get started.
Anvesh, change the screen. Yes. A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of Air Force School Hebbal, I extend a very warm welcome to the Quriocity webinar series. The purpose of organizing the Quriocity webinar series is to encourage students to come forward and share their experiences in tinkering and innovation at their ATL. Our aim is to develop self-sustaining ATLs where students not only tinker and innovate, but also serve as ambassadors, role models, and mentors for many more students. In today's webinar, the 4 students from Air Force School Hebbal, Bangalore,
Srinidhi, please remove your presentation. Ma'am has to continue. Please remove it immediately. Nobody should present the screen.
The 4 students from Air Force School Hebbal, Bangalore will demonstrate through concrete examples, live and video demonstrations, how they went about tinkering and innovating at their ATLs. We hope to encourage and motivate many students to get inspired and start their tinkering and innovating journey at an early age. How to join the webinar. For external participants, there is a YouTube link which is given, and you also have a Google Meet link. Now, in case of any issues with the YouTube link, you may join by copying the Google Meet link. Exclusively for Air Force School Hebbal students, the Google Meet link has been given here along with the live stream. So log in with your email IDs and password. How to ask questions. For those in the Google Meet, use the chat window. For those on YouTube, use the YouTube chat window. For those on Google Meet live stream, use Slido link sent in the YOLO notes. So the Google Meet live stream is for Air Force School Hebbal teachers and students. In case you join from Google Meet, please make sure to mute your microphone and please do not present your screen. We also request you to mute your videos. Thank you. May I now request Anvesh Abhilash to start the webinar.
Good morning to one and all present here. Today I, Anvesh Abhilash, with my teammates S. Vijay Subramanian, Manya Ramesh and Srishti Sandeep are going to share some of the innovations which we have done while working in the ATL. Atal Tinkering Labs have been set up in schools across the country by Niti Aayog to foster creative thinking, tinkering, innovation, entrepreneurship, and to inculcate 21st century skills among young student tinkerers. The various resources which we have used at the ATL are Toolbox, which contains basic tools, the 3D printer, drone kits while building drones, robotic kits, different types of sensors, actuators, and microcontrollers, and some power tools. The various learning options at the ATL are problem-solving tinkering, problem-solving skills, which is giving nice and relevant solutions to the problems. Designing, which is deciding how your model will look after it is built. Prototyping, which is building your model. Innovating, and many 21st century skills like planning, critical thinking, leadership, which is taking up responsibilities, communication skills, creativity, and collaborative skills. The innovations which we have done at the ATL are the Agro Rover, which was built by my friend Vijay and me, the RC plane, which was built by my team and I, the smart prosthetic arm and the smart duster built by Manya, and the blind person support system built by our youngest innovator, Srishti. In the next 50 minutes, we'll be speaking on the innovations done by us. Now, I hand over to Vijay, who will be telling about his innovation.
Thank you, Anvesh. Good morning to everyone. I'm Vijay Subramanian. I will be presenting my screen now.
Hi, sign.
So, good morning to you all once again. I'm Vijay Subramanian. So, today I'm going to talk about our project Agro Rover, which is an agricultural bot which does environmental monitoring of the farm. So, let's take a look at the needs for building such a rover. As we know that the world population is increasing day by day, you can see in the graph given on the slide that it is expected to hit 9 billion or more than that by the year 2050. So as the population is increasing, the demand for food is also increasing. So this increasing demand for food has to be met by the farmers. So the farmers are under great pressure to meet this increasing demand. So for this, farmers have to adopt new technologies to produce more food, increase their productivity efficiently and at lower cost. So for this, many farmers are moving towards agricultural automation as a solution for the coming future. Agricultural automation means using machines and technology for performing farming activities, which reduces human effort. Precision agriculture is also making farming activities effective and productive. Precision agriculture means getting agricultural inputs regarding soil, such as the pH value, the soil nutrients present in it, and data regarding weather, such as the humidity, temperature, wind speed, and many more. So, by getting these data, the farmer can plan his farming activities accordingly, such as when to irrigate the field, what are the nutrients required by the crop, what are the fertilizers should he use, and many more. So by planning his activities in such a way would definitely increase the productivity of food. So for this, there has been increase in usage of robots and drones for performing farming activities. There has been a rise in agricultural robots, innovation, agricultural robotics because of combination of factors like growing population, rise of IoT and artificial intelligence. Decreased cost of sensors is also leading to coming up of more and more agricultural robots which are affordable by farmers. Nowadays, robots are being used in farms for performing various farming activities like crop seeding, harvesting and picking, weed control and spraying, irrigation, crop monitoring and analysis, and environmental monitoring. There are many advantages of agricultural automation. Some of them are, as most of the work is done by machines, the labor requirement and the human effort decreases. By using machines, farmers can make use of the available resources in the best productive way, which leads to efficient farming activities at minimum cost. Machines are one-time investment, so they are bought and can be used again and again for many seasons. This saves money. By automation, farmers can practice their agricultural activities efficiently, which leads to greater crop yield and efficient use of water, which conserves one of the most important resources. Last year, I spoke to one of my friend's uncle, who is a farmer. So by talking to him, I got to know the challenges faced by Indian farmers. So because of the hardships involved in farming, Many farm laborers are migrating to other jobs or to cities in search of other livelihood. The coming generation is not ready to take farming as their profession because of the hardships involved in it. So this shortage of labor is leading to decrease in crop production. The marginal farmers make up 70% of a farming community who are unable to afford big farming equipments. Small-sized farms make it challenging to use automation. Many Indian farmers use the same type of fertilizers for different farms, irrespective of the soil type or the nutrients required by the crop. So this leads to imbalance in fertilizer use. Water scarcity is a big challenge, and in places where water is available in adequate amount, inefficient use of water leads to damage of crops and even wastage of water. So, how to bring farming automation to India? We have to focus on building agricultural robots which are affordable by small farmers and are portable. These should have low initial cost of purchase so that maximum number of farmers can make use of it. These should have modular plug-and-play robotic attachments so that a single machine can be used for performing various farming activities by just changing the robotic attachments. The farmers should also have an option to rent these agricultural robots from a rural entrepreneur so that they need not buy the whole thing. They can just pay and use these robots whenever it is required. So in this direction, Anmesh and I worked on our Agro Rover, which is a smart robotic solution for automating farming activities and conserving resources. Our Agro Rover performs environmental monitoring of the farm. So it can go to various locations in the field and measure parameters like soil moisture, temperature, and humidity, and send the data to the farmer. So with the help of this data, the farmer can water the field according to the requirement at different locations. So this way, water consumption of the crop can be optimized and wastage of precious water can be minimized. Our Agro Rover is a remote control device which can be controlled from a mobile app. It consists of two parts, the Wi-Fi car and the sensor part. The chassis of the car, that is the body of the car, is made using acrylic sheets which are fitted with geared motors and wheels. The programming of the functioning of the car is done using a Node MCU, which is powered by a 9-volt Duracell battery. It is fitted with an L298 motor driver, which uses the concept of edge bridge for changing the direction according to the instruction. The rover consists of two tiers. The components required for the functioning of the car are fitted on the lower tier, and the sensors are fitted on the upper tier. The signal from the remote, that is the mobile app, is received by the Node MCU and acts according to the instruction. The programming is done using Arduino IDE. Agro Rover can send the measured parameters in real time over a Wi-Fi interface. The sensors which are present in the Agro Rover are soil moisture sensor, humidity sensor, and a temperature sensor. So the soil moisture sensor gauges the moisture content of the soil and sends the data to the farmer. So with the help of this data, the farmer can have an idea of the moisture content of the soil at different locations and accordingly irrigate the field. The humidity sensor gauges the humidity content in the atmosphere. Humidity is an important factor that affects the absorption capacity of the crop. So if the humidity level is high, the water absorption capacity of the crop decreases. So at that time, irrigation can be delayed. It also gives an additional information about the temperature of the farm, on which various agricultural activities are based on. So these are the circuit diagrams of the platform of the Agro Rover, that is the Wi-Fi car, and the sensor part of the Agro Rover. This is the end-to-end diagram of the whole system. You can see that the sensors are connected and programmed using a Node MCU, which provides an access to an open IoT platform. So the data collected by the sensors is read by the node MCU and it is transferred to an open IoT platform, that is ThinkSpeak. So the data collected by the ThinkSpeak can be received from any of our smart devices such as laptops, computers or mobile phones, and we can view this collected data by logging into the ThinkSpeak web-based dashboard. So here we have used a computer to log into the dashboard and view the collected data. We can also use a mobile app which we have developed using MIT App Inventor. So this also receives the data from the ThinkSpeak and we can view the collected data by just clicking few buttons. The Wi-Fi car is also programmed using a node MCU. The movement of the car can be controlled by an app which is IoT MQTT panel. So the message from the app is sent to the node MCU via a Hive MQTT broker, which is the main server present on the cloud. So the node MCU receives the message from the mobile app and acts according to the instruction. So this is how we can view the data collected by the sensors by logging into the ThinkSpeak web-based dashboard from any of our smart devices. And this is the mobile app which we have developed using MIT App Inventor for viewing the collected data. During this lockdown, Anvesh and I, with the guidance of a mentor, integrated augmented reality in an agro rover as a different way for viewing the collected data using a Zapper app. So in this, a mobile is used to scan the Zap code, which has been developed for our project using ZapWorks web-based designer. So once the Zap code is scanned, the ZapWorks augmented reality platform collects the data from the ThinkSpeak. ThinkSpeak has the data collected by the sensors already stored in it. So once the AR platform, that is augmented reality platform, collects the data from the ThinkSpeak, it is displayed on a mobile screen. So the printout of the Zap code should be stuck on the agro rover, and the farmer should point his phone at the agro rover and then scan the Zap code. So when the data would be displayed on the mobile screen, it would be seen augmented on the agro rover in the background. This is the Zapper app which we have used for scanning the Zap code in our project. On the top right is the Zap code which has been developed for our project Agro Rover using ZapWorks web-based designer. On the bottom left is how we can view the data collected by the sensors after scanning the Zap code. On the bottom right is the ZapWorks Studio which has been used for coding the Zap code. This augmented reality platform is a very interesting and a powerful tool. This can be used for educational purposes, for collecting data, and even for building games. I would like you all to try this augmented reality platform during this period of lockdown. We have also planned to improvise our agro rover so that it can perform many more farming activities such as weed control and spraying, crop seeding, crop monitoring and analysis, picking and harvesting, and soil analysis. We are also trying to design our agro rover in a modular plug-in scale. This way, we are trying to give farmers a comfortable life. Anvesh and I, with our agro rover, participated in the CBSE Regional Science Exhibition and in Technotser, which was held in SKEI. The judges who viewed our project gave us positive feedback and suggestions for improvisation of our agro rover. We secured second prize in Technotser, which was held in SKEI. It was a great experience for us. Now, I would like to show you a quick video demo of our agro rover. Thank you. Now I would be handing over to Manya, who would be talking about her innovation, which she has done while working in the ATL.
Hello everybody, I'm Anya here. Now I'm going to present
Hi, how are you?
So now I'm going to introduce all of you to my innovation, the Smart Duster, for better and safer futuristic classrooms. So let's see how it all got started. I have a classmate named Smaya who was always sick and was absent to school. Her parents used to take her to a doctor taking leave from their jobs, and Smaya was on a sick leave. Smaya frequently sneezed and coughed in the classroom and also used to rub her eyes. The doctor discussed that she was prone to chalk dust allergy and this had become a serious health hazard. Like Smaya, many other students who sit in the front row face similar problems. Even the teachers face frequent eye irritation problems, sneezing, and other allergies from inhaling the chalk dust present in the classroom environment. The chalk dust affects many people. The school teacher and the school students are one of them who face this problem directly. So, what are the problems they face? I created a small survey in my school, and these are the most common complaints which they all face. The teachers complain about their palms getting rough and other skin rashes. That is because they stand too close to the blackboard and while they're writing. And they also open their mouth to speak and explain about what they're writing. That is when the chalk dust gets into their mouth and the other respiratory organs, which creates throat allergy and many other irritations and rashes and allergies. But when they erase the blackboard, the chalk dust flows throughout the classroom and that creates eye irritation. The same chalk dust gets settled on their clothes to make it dirty. And the same chalk dust settles on the uniforms of the students, making it look very untidy. The students also face similar problems like the teachers, like throat allergy, skin rashes, and eye irritation. But are these the only people who face this problem? No, there are parents and many other cleaning staffs who face this problem, but indirectly. The parents have to frequently wash the untidy uniforms of their students and also have to take them to the doctor to look after their illnesses and other allergies. They also have to pay the child's medical bills due to the allergies. And when we have a look at the cleaning staff has to clean the classroom regularly because when the chalk dust gets settled on the classroom floor, it makes it very slippery to walk on. Because these cleaning staffs don't have any safety measure, that lead to throat allergy and skin rashes. So, what are the current solutions which we have in our classrooms? The blackboard duster is the most commonly used. The blackboard duster spreads a lot of chalk dust around the classroom. That is because this blackboard duster doesn't absorb the required amount of dust. And also to use this, we require a lot of dusting to be done. But when we have a look at the dry sponge, we need to put a lot of pressure in order to clean the blackboard. And even after that, a lot of white patches are left on the blackboard. But when we have a look at the wet sponge, after using this, the board looks almost clean and new. But to clean with wet sponge, we need water. And we don't have any sources of water in our classroom. And also, after using this, it takes a lot of time for the board to dry. And if the teacher sees it, it is not visible. So this is also not a good sign. The next one is the smart duster. is the broom. We use brooms in our everyday, but even in doing this, it's very ineffective because it leaves behind a lot of tiny. So, what are the other set of solution alternates? Something called as the chalk marker. It doesn't direct contact to the fingers of the teeth. A lot more expensive than the
Hello, excuse me, your voice.
chocolate. The next solution alternate is whiteboard. This whiteboard eliminates the chalk dust problem. Completely classrooms will be very expensive. The next one and the final one is the water spray and wiper duster. It minimizes the the board wears out very quickly and lot of irregularities are formed on its surface. And also to use this device in our classroom is for functioning. As I mentioned earlier, we don't have any surface of water. So what can we use in our classrooms? All of us know what an exhaust fan is. But have you wondered how it would be if we could fix an exhaust fan in our classrooms? Having an exhaust fan in our classroom can suck all the chalk dust in the classroom air and blow it out of there. But it is not effective. Let's come to a technological solution, the air ionizer. This air ionizer ionizes the dust particles in the air and makes it fall down. But this dust not only settles on the floors, but also on the furniture and on the clothes of the people in the classroom. The electric roller duster is our next solution. This electric roller duster gives us large surface area for picking up the dust. But as soon as we take this electric roller duster and press it against the blackboard, the roller stops running due to the friction which is caused. Next comes the vacuum duster. The vacuum duster sucks out most of the dust from the blackboard, but it can be a little more expensive when it's compared to the felt duster. That is because of the vacuuming device which we have used in this. Considering all this, I built a smart duster. And to build it, I had to build many prototypes before the final one. So these are the 4 prototypes which I am going to introduce now. Each prototype was a better version of the previous one, but still each had its own advantages and disadvantages. We keep on improvising on my prototypes. First, I built the steel powder coated duster. As we all know, steel powder has the characteristic of attracting chalk dust particles. But when we used the steel powder and stuck it with the foam using glue, it became very hard. And when we used this on the blackboard, it started scratching it. This wasn't a good thing of an ideal prototype.
Hello. Manya. What happened? What happened?
Manya,
One
present.
second, hold on. Okay, we will get Manya back. Please hold on.
Why are you doing that?
Must have just dropped off,
Okay.
and we will get her back immediately.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Where is she? Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Please don't present any screen. Please remove the screen.
Okay, sir.
Remove the screen, please. Manya is going to come back.
Let's move with the rapid.
Yeah, nowadays we all use internet for everything online. Sometimes links goes down, and then we have temporary interruption. Don't present any screen, please. Srinivas, please don't share your screen. We will get Manya back. Mohib Ali, please stop presenting your screen. So while Manya comes back, Anvesh, are you ready? Can we start off with you? Anvesh? Anvesh,
Yes, sir. I'm there.
I think you should go ahead and start presenting. Let Manya join.
Sure, sir.
So what we will do is Anvesh is going to talk about his innovation while Manya joins back, and we will give her a chance to complete her presentation once she comes back. Okay. So please don't present anybody. Nobody should present their screens. We will start with Anvesh now.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, please
hello,
mute.
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Manya has not realized that she's dropped off.
Okay, okay. Is she joining now? Is she rejoining?
Yeah. 1 second, I'm getting a call.
So please hold on, folks. We are trying to get Manya. If there's any delay, we will get started with Anvesh. Okay, so don't worry.
Anvesh,
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so now I'm going to continue. Sorry, the connection was lost. So,
Manya, please share your slides again, share your presentation, and then continue. So folks, everyone, Manya is back. So let's continue with her.
Okay, sir.
So as I was saying, I built 4 prototypes before the final smart duster one. So here I had first built the steel powder coated duster. So as we all know, the steel powder has the characteristic of attracting the chalk dust particles. But when we use the steel powder to stick it with the foam using glue, it became very hard. And when we used this steel powder coated duster on the blackboard, it was making scratches, and this wasn't a good characteristic of an ideal prototype. So next I built the exhaust fan duster, where we have a small exhaust fan and a few filtration mechanisms. But when I used this, it still didn't work because the exhaust fan which we used was very small and incapable of doing the proper job. Present roller duster. In this, you can all see here, I had a big roller, a switch, and a scraping tool. But this too didn't work out as the material which we have used here was not able to suck the amount of dust which we wanted it to suck. The fourth one was the Scotch-Brite duster. In the Scotch-Brite duster, I used the air pump. And this is how it looks. So here I had a big hole so that I can fix the air pump outlet and smaller hole so that the vacuuming can be easily done. But as you can see, this coarse material was not ideal.
You stop presenting.
And then I built the 5th prototype, the smart duster. First I designed and then I made the prototype. So this is how it looks. So this is the switch.
Manya, 1 second, hold on. Manya, please stop presenting. Manya's presentation slides are not fully visible. Nobody should present anything else when Manya is presenting. Please stop your presentations. Don't click on present button, please. You have requested many times, but many of you are still doing it. So Manya, please unshare and reshare because your screen is not visible. It's become very small. So if you can unshare and reshare, Manya.
Yes, sir. Do it now.
Nobody should present, please. Otherwise, we will not be able to complete this webinar in time. You also want to go back, right?
Is it visible now, everybody?
yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Okay, got it. So the first prototype I built was a smart duster design. I made the design and then I built it. So this is how I wanted it to be. An air pump with the switch, filtration layers and 2 rollers so that we can suck the dust efficiently. But this too had a few disadvantages. So one, it was very clumsy, and the other, it created a lot of noise. This noise not only disturbed the classroom in which it was being used, but also in the neighboring classrooms. So let me now on so that you can listen to the noise it produces. So this is the amount of noise which is produced. So now I'm building the 6th prototype, which is going to be the final prototype and the product, and which is going to be much better than these previous 5 prototypes. I did a small cost comparison between the blackboard setup and the whiteboard setup to see how much would be which would be better in terms of economy. I compared it for 5 years, and this is the conclusion I got. We got a conclusion that the blackboard setup, when compared with the whiteboard setup with the markers and the vacuum duster, it was much better than the whiteboard setup. My smart duster was also recognized and awarded by many organizations and initiatives. The Innovations Conclave conducted by the Parikrama Foundation awarded my innovative idea, the smart duster, rupees 55,000 for developing it. In the VITM, my smart claw innovation was one among the 15 shortlisted innovative ideas out of the 1,580 entries. And out of those 15 shortlisted entries, the smart duster was recognized and was selected as one among the top 5 innovative ideas. In the Innovation Festival 2019, the smart duster impressed a lot of visitors and judges of the Innovation Festival conducted by the Vishweshwaraya Museum, Bangalore. I was also interviewed by a couple of TV channels and newspapers. Now, I'm going to show you something which is going to be a lot of fun to build. But the best part of this is you don't need many complex components and tools, and you can build it in your home in just 5 minutes. So let's see what it is. Do you all know what an Alexa is? Have you seen the ad? In the chat box, you can reply whether you've seen it or not. Okay, those who don't know, assistant, it helps their users to know about different information, and also it plays a lot of fun games. It gives you reviews about movies, it can play music, and many things. So I got
your voice is not coming.
And I went to the Alexa Blueprint website where of customizing answers, and you can make the question, you can make the Alexa answer the way you want. So I think to help the newcomers of the ages and make their learning experience fun. So there are you can not only use this Alexa in just the Alexa device, but also in the app. But I have used this Amazon Echo Alexa device. Okay, so you can also download this Amazon Alexa app and you can use it. Using this Alexa in each and every ATL will be very helpful. But let me now show you the demo video.
We can't see the presentation.
Mania just present. Mania just
Harsh Baduria.
Okay,
Stop presenting.
someone else is presenting.
Please resume your presentation, Mania.
We can't see the presentation, Mania.
Coaches.
Manya, can you start your presentation again?
Sure, please stop presenting.
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 minute.
Please stop presenting.
Manya, please start your presentation again.
So let me now show you the demo video of how this ATL bot actually works and how it's to be used. So this is the ATL bot. Alexa, what do I do if I get an idea?
All you need to do is to write your ideas in a piece of paper and drop it in the idea box between the ATM. problem solving that takes into account users' needs, wants, desires, challenges, problems, etc. to come up with
Alexa, what are the different resources found in the ATL?
The different resources found are many, but a few among them are Arduinos, robotic kits, drone kits, 3D printer, motor drivers, sensors, actuators, and Raspberry Pi. There are many other unique resources.
Alexa, what are the 21st century skills?
Critical thinking, creative thinking, leadership, collaborating.
Mania, we can't see your screen, Mania.
Manya, can you
Nitish Yadav has
Manya,
started
can you reshare?
presenting. So we can't able to see the Manya's screen.
We can't able to see Mania.
Manya, can you please?
Hello, Mania.
Yes, one second. I'm doing it.
Nitish Yadav, please stop presenting. Nitish Yadav.
I'm not able to present.
Hello, yeah. Yeah, hello.
Yes, yes.
You are listening me or not?
Yes, we can hear you.
No.
We can hear you.
Okay, okay.
Hello.
So all of you, I mean each one of you, this is a nice time for you to try it out and have a lot of fun. Thank you. The next speaker of this session is Anvesh Abhilash, who is going to share his experience about how he built an RC plane and how
We are
he
not able to listen.
Yeah, thank you, Manya. Just a minute, I'll present my screen. Kola Venkat, can you please stop presenting the screen?
Anvesh, before you present, I think I would request all the students and the viewers to stop presenting your screen because it is interrupting the presenters or the speakers from doing the presentation. I think you all can understand in this digital platform, you're supposed to stop presenting and also mute yourselves. I request you to do it. Kindly do it. You're interrupting the presentations and you're interrupting the talk. Thank you. Anvesh, please start.
Hello once again to one and all present here. I'm Anvesh. Today I'll take all of you through the story of my first RC plane and how I designed and built it. I was always fond of airplanes and I wanted to build one, but never knew how. But thanks to ATL, which gave me an opportunity to build one RC plane, my ATL in charge and my mentors helped me a lot to design and build it. Now, for better understanding of planes, let me introduce you all to the basic parts of an aircraft. Fuselage, which is nothing but the body of the aircraft. The propeller is pushes the airplane forward and it is connected to the engine or the motor of an aircraft. The landing gear enables the plane to run on land. The wings pushes the airplane up into the air. The ailerons allows the plane to tilt towards the left or the right. The horizontal stabilizer controls the up or down movement of the airplane. The vertical stabilizer allows the plane to follow a straight path while it is flying. The rudder allows the plane to turn left or right from the nose to the tail. There are four main forces which acts on a plane when a plane is airborne or it is flying. The weight is the force that is caused by the gravity and it acts perpendicularly on the plane. The lift is the force that holds an airplane up in the air. The wing creates most of the lift used by the airplanes. The thrust is the force that moves an aircraft forward. It is provided by the engines or the motors of an aircraft. The drag is the force that resists movement of an aircraft through the air. It is caused by friction and differences in air pressure. You all can understand these four forces with the example of a cricket ball. When you throw a cricket ball towards the air, we give it a push, which is nothing but the thrust. It goes up towards the sky because of the lift. It slows down in the air because of the drag. And again it comes down towards us because of its weight. A plane is able to fly because of the structure which is given to its wing, known as the aerofoil structure. You can see the aerofoil structure on the right side in a red color figure. What happens in an aerofoil is that the air moves faster over the wing, creating a low pressure area there, whereas the air moves slower under the wing, creating a high pressure area. And the effect which takes place is the wings lifts off with the body of the aircraft. There are three main movements of an aircraft. The first is the pitch, which is the up or down movement of the aircraft, and it is controlled by the elevators. The roll is the tilting towards the left or right movement of the aircraft, and it is controlled by the ailerons. The yaw is the movement towards the left or right from the nose to the tail, and it is controlled by the rudder. I built my RC plane for Boeing aeromodeling competition, which was held at TechFest at IIT Bombay. Our problem statement was to design, fabricate, and demonstrate a fixed-wing aircraft system that can carry a payload of golf balls and drop them in a dropping zone. There were many design constraints which I need to follow to participate in my competition. Ready-made models were not allowed. The thrust-to-weight ratio should be less than 0.75 without the payload in the plane. The propeller diameter should not be greater than 13 inches. The distance from one end of the wing to the other end of the wing should be a maximum of 1.2 meters. Only electrical motors were allowed. We cannot use IC engines to fly the plane. We only need to control the plane using joysticks and the remote control. We cannot use the turning or tilting of the remote control to fly the plane. The materials which were used to build the plane were a brushless motor as the main thrust provider for the plane, Depron sheets as they were the lightest to build a plane, 10 inches propeller which were rotated using a motor, ESCs or electronic speed controller to control the speed of the motor, a lithium polymer battery as the main power supply to the whole aircraft system, additional servo motors to control the ailerons, elevators, and the rudders, and a basic remote control to control and fly the plane. Designing the plane is the most important part to fly it perfectly. The nose of my aircraft was conical so that it can gain more speed. The motor was mounted in the front as I only needed one motor to get the correct speed. The plane should always be built in a symmetry to keep it balanced. The length of the wing on both the sides of the plane should be the same. I painted my plane in blue and yellow colors as it looks beautiful when it flies high in the sky. I named it as Garud as it is the bird which flies the highest. I used additional motors within the wings to control the direction of the movement of the aircraft, which is the left or right movement or the up and down movement. These motors were remotely controlled using joysticks from the ground. For the aircraft to move smoothly in the air, I have provided a streamlined shape to the ailerons, the elevators, and the rudder to ensure total control of the aircraft when it is in flight. Next comes dropping of the golf balls from the aircraft. This was the main task which I need to perform when I participated in the competition. All the golf balls were being carried inside the body of my aircraft. I need to release all the golf balls at a designated location or a dropping zone by opening a door in the aircraft using a remote control. You can see the hollow part in the above picture where I used to keep my ball and the motor which is connected there to control the door of my aircraft. Can you guess whether I dropped the balls and did I landed my plane successfully? Yes, I was able to drop the balls and I was able to land the plane successfully. But while dropping the balls by mistake, I even dropped the door from the aircraft. Now you can see how my plane flew and dropped the balls in the dropping zone. So here it dropped the balls. And yeah, the door even fell with it. So it took a loop, and I even need to land my plane successfully, as if I land this plane successfully, I get extra points for that. So here my plane lands. Before building the final plane, I built 3 prototypes of the same kind. Each prototype was a better version of my previous one, but they were not able to fly as I did many mistakes while building it. I didn't do many aerodynamic calculations while building them. I didn't repeat it, but I didn't repeat it while building my final plane. I used a high power motor with a large propeller which burnt my motor. I didn't provide a streamlined shape to it, so it was not able to fly smoothly in the air. But keeping all these mistakes in my mind, I built my final plane, which is painted blue at the right side, which flew perfectly in the competition as you saw before. Then comes,
Do this plane have wheels?
then comes flying my RC plane at IIT Bombay. When I participated in the Boeing Aero Modeling competition, there were 2 rounds. The first was the qualifier round, in which my aircraft should carry 1 or more golf balls and fly for a minimum time of 30 seconds. In the main round, my aircraft should carry 1 or more golf balls and drop them in a circular dropping zone after a minimum flight time of 45 seconds. The score for both the rounds was calculated as the weight of golf balls carried upon the weight of the aircraft without the golf balls. You can see the dropping zone on the right side in the arena for the main round. But building a RC plane is not really very easy. I faced many challenges while building the RC plane. I used foam board material to build my prototype planes, which was very heavy. I researched a lot, and then I come to know about the Depron sheets, which were very much lighter as compared to the foam boards. So keeping the airplane afloat in the air is really very important, as if the plane is not balanced while flying in the air, it may stall or basically fall and even may crash in the ground. I faced many problems while landing the plane. I thought of using landing gears for my prototype planes, but when I fixed the landing gears to them, it was moving towards one direction. Later I saw that it was disbalanced, and I was not able to fix it. So I thought of initiating belly landing for my final plane, and yeah, it was successful. I missed many basics aerodynamic calculations while building my prototypes, which I didn't repeat it while building the final plane. Balancing the weight of the golf balls with the speed of the aircraft was really very difficult for me, as there were some speed limits which I need to follow to participate in the competition. By using a brushless motor, I reached the correct speed level which I required to participate in the competition. The number of golf balls that can be carried was very less in my prototype planes. But after doing the aerodynamic calculations, I enlarged the size of my aircraft and even enlarged its wing. And later, it was able to carry more than 15 balls. So, you can design your own RC planes by attending some tutorials on YouTube. The channel links are given here. You can even visit some websites where you can design your own RC plane and do some basic calculations. At last, I would like to say, you can build your own RC plane and enjoy its flying.
Hello.
As you know, I participated in the Boeing Aero Modeling competition. I got selected in the top 30 there. But I was not able to win there as the highest number of balls dropped was 60 and my plane was only able to carry 15 balls in it. I secured the second position in TechNote held at SKEI Bangalore for the Agro Rover, which my friend Vijay and I built. Thank you. And now I would like to invite Srishti Sandeep, who is the youngest innovator of Air Force School Hebbal and even the winner of the ATL Community Day Challenge.
Thank you, Anvesh. So I'll present my screen.
Can we put the links in the chat box?
Hello everyone, I am Srishti Sandeep. I have done blind person support system project using Scratch. Blind people take help from fellow pedestrians or they need beepers to cross the road, like beeping traffic lights. The problem with this solution is not all traffic lights have beepers, so blind people cannot rely upon beepers to cross the road, and they cannot hear the beeping sound clearly because of the traffic noise. So I have come up with an idea, blind person support system. This project works on the basis of GPS in the mobile app. The GPS detects that where is the blind person, how fast is he or she walking, and where is the car, is it a car or not, and how fast is the car coming, and is it coming towards the blind person. So if the blind person can cross the road safely, it will tell you can cross the road. If there is any car or any vehicle is coming towards a blind person, it will tell wait until the traffic is clear. And after the traffic is clear, and if it is safe to cross the road, it will tell you can cross the road. So it will do all these complex calculations in fraction of seconds. That is why we need artificial intelligence to do such complex calculations. Artificial intelligence is used to do classification algorithm. I have done coding. To code, we have to drag and drop the coding concept to build the logic. You can see my coding in this slide.
Hello.
I'm one of the top 10 winner in ATL Community Day Challenge, and I have received a certificate from Atal Innovation Mission. So now I'll present my video. You can cross the road. Please wait until the traffic clears. You can cross the road. I have finished my talk on blind person support system. Thank you.
How can we get the info about traffic?
Yeah, just 1 second, hold on, please. Vijay is going to bring up his slide.
We have now expressed on whatever to convey. We now open to questions from audience.
So I think all the 4 presenters, speakers today, the students have presented. Please, you can feel free to ask your questions, but those people who are on Google Meet, please use your chat window only. Don't unmute your microphones, because if multiple people speak together, it will be challenging for us to understand the question. So please type it in the chat window. And for those who are on YouTube, please use the chat window on YouTube. And those who are on Google Meet live stream, that is Air Force School Hebbal students, please use the Slido link that was sent to you in below notes. So we are going to monitor all three, and we are going to read out the questions to the 4 students, Vijay, Manya, Anvesh, and Shrishti. So they're going to answer your questions to the best they can. Okay, and if some questions are not answered, feel free to write to them. We are going to share their email IDs later on, and you can always expect an answer later on. We'll try and answer as many questions as possible in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Hope you enjoyed the session so far. So, Revati ma'am, would you like to start with the YouTube questions from?
Yes, sir. I don't find many questions in the YouTube, but as of now, there is a couple of questions. This is to Vijay Subramaniam. People want to know what exactly is the agro rover. What is an agro rover?
So basically, an agro rover is something like a rover, which is, or we can call it a machine, which is used in agriculture for performing agricultural activities, for doing agricultural works effectively, and for if there is labor requirement, shortage of labor requirement, so for acting against it, for coming against labor requirement.
Thank you, Vijay. Over to the next question, sir. Kiran sir.
Leela, next question.
Leela.
Yes, sir. So the next question is, what kind of program did you use to build the blind person support system? Srish, would you like to answer this?
Yes. Scratch. I have used Scratch.
Over to you, Kiran sir.
Okay. So there is another question on Google Meet chat window. How to control an RC plane? That's the first question.
So can you repeat? So can you repeat?
How do you control a remote control plane?
Okay, so we can control as the name says, remote control. So we can control it using a transmitter and a receiver channel. So I used a 6-channel transmitter and receiver, and I even controlled the dropping of the balls using the remote control itself.
Okay, and what can you control from the remote control, Anvesh?
We can control the speed of the aircraft using the throttle. Then we can control the left or right movement of the plane, which is the ailerons. We can control the ailerons, rudders, and the elevators also using additional by connecting the servo motors to the receiver channel.
Okay, great. So there's one other question, but I've already answered it on the chat window. It is, if somebody is asked, can you get the link for Scratch coding? So I have already shared the link for Scratch coding on the chat window. You can take a look at it. So if somebody wants it, I can repeat it again. It's https:// That's the URL. If you go there, you'll be able to do programming there.
Okay, sir.
So over to Revati ma'am.
Yes, sir. The next question is to, I think, the RC plane. So people want to know what is the cost of building the RC plane?
Actually, the cost of building a RC plane, okay, if you buy ready-made models, it will cost you more than 10,000. But I built my RC plane myself, and it costed me within 7,000. Like all the materials I built, I bought them from the market, and I built it by my own. And yeah, it costed me around 7,000.
Another question, anybody can take it up. Were all the components regarding your projects given to you by the ATL? Components were taken from the ATL lab.
So I would like to answer this question. Yes, most of the things which we used in our projects were available in ATL. So ATL was like a resource bank for us for doing our all projects. and also supported us and anytime when we required any resource or any help from our mentors in charge and even in the material point of view.
Over to Lilambika ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So the next question is to Srishti. Can we convert a Scratch program into APK file? If yes, how?
No, we cannot convert into APK file.
Okay. Over to you, Kiran sir.
Yeah, I'm just, if you have one more question, you can bring it up. I'm just looking for more questions. Lilambika ma'am, you want to go with one more question in the meanwhile?
Yes, sir. So this question is for Anvesh. Can you please show the YouTube channels for building RC plane? I think we will be sharing the links.
I'll just share the link on YouTube.
Yeah.
Can you even share it on Meet?
Yeah, sure.
So there's one more question for Srishti. Are there any learning modules available for Scratch programming? Is there a website from which they can learn programming on Scratch?
Yeah, in YouTube we can.
Okay, so on YouTube,
We'll get. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, on YouTube you can find resources to learn Scratch programming. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will also like to add on this that there is a website called Planet Code, which is from Model Innovation Mission. You can use that. There is step-by-step tutorials where you can start learning from small things and then do big.
Developing games, right?
Yes, yes. With Planet Code website.
Sure. So there's one more question for Srishti. Will the phone or the GPS vibrate or speak something when the blind person is walking?
Yes, it will speak. The mobile app.
Okay.
The mobile app will speak, so blind person can hear it.
Okay, great. Sure. So, Revati ma'am, you can take the next one.
Yes. This is a question, Vijay. Has the Agro Rover been tested practically? And can you tell how it is able to overcome the rough surface, the jagged surface of the agricultural farm?
So for this, I will say like it has not been tested yet in the practical one. We have just tested in the lab and the data collecting part. It has yet to be tested in the field. And for the other question, like how it will overcome how it will move in the field. For that, we have to change the wheels, so some spike wheels, so that it can move on slushy mud and sand, which is present in the field basically.
Thank you, Vijay. Over to Lilambika.
Yes, ma'am. So the next question is, how will you get ideas to think?
Sorry?
How will you get ideas to think?
I would like to take this question. Okay.
So for this question, you just need to concentrate it and you need to discover more problems and the roots of the severity of all, and you also feel panic. Just drop it.
I would like to add something in it. Like you won't get something like idea. You have to search for problem, and the solution which you find for the problem is the idea. So basically, you have to find a problem in your surroundings, any problem, and you have to completely understand it. And the solution which you find for that problem is the idea. So you have to search for the problem.
Okay, next question.
What is this?
So there's one question for Manya. Can you use a normal duster to clean?
I promised the question.
யாரு கேக்குறாளோ அவ பேரு சொல்லணும்ங்கறல
Manya, can you hear the question? Okay. Manya, you're on mute. Unmute yourself and speak. Manya, you're on. Okay. So there's, okay, let me move on.
How much would you cost to make your project?
Which project?
So now,
Unmute yourself, Manya.
now, sir, am I audible now, sir?
Yes, yes. Again, you're muted
Am I
yourself.
audible? Yes, sir.
Don't mute yourself.
Sir,
Muting
am I
again.
audible now?
Yes.
Okay, just hold on, Manya.
Now,
Hold
sir,
on. Manya, hold on. Let me take another question. So another question for Srishti. How did you learn coding?
In YouTube only, sir. I learned coding from YouTube. I just, and my parents helped to learn. Sure. And some of the things I learned from YouTube.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Am I audible now, sir?
Yeah, but you're becoming muted again and again. So I need to check, find out what is the issue, Manya. So you're getting muted.
I have a very important question in the whole blind support system. It's the main base.
Okay, sir, please go ahead.
How will we get the satellite info of cars and GPS and whole traffic situation?
Yes, that's my
Srishti.
By government.
Do you think this top confidential information will be provided by government to you?
No, it is not anything confidential information.
Okay.
If it would have so easy, then there would already be a system like this, or at least like we have satellite maps system in Google Maps. We could have a video, like it has a photo system. We could also had a video.
No, video cannot be seen by the blind person, right?
We could also have a live video of whole planet, like we have a photo in Gmaps.
No. Video cannot be seen by blind person.
Okay,
It can't be seen by the blind person. I know it, but we will not get the information of video. How will we get an information that a car is being passed by from the road?
No, it will talk back. So blind person can hear it.
I know it. I know that it will talk.
So let me explain. So what Srishti has done is an early prototype. She's going to research and work further on this, and then she's going to refine her solution as well. Let's wait for her to take her innovation forward. So it's a lot of research involved in the process. So let's see how Srishti is going to take it forward. Okay. So
Excuse me.
I'll tinker on.
yeah, Srishti. So let's move on to the next question. If you want to take the next one, I think we are already running late, so we should wrap it up with the next one or two questions.
Sir,
No. This is the main question. This is the base of presentation. We cannot do anything without the information.
So we understand. Please hold on. Revati ma'am is going to ask the next question.
Okay, this is the question from Shriya from KMB Red Hills. I want to know what is used to make the duster and the blind person support stick. It's a question addressed both to Manya and Srishti. So if you can just quickly tell what are the materials that you have used for this.
Ma'am, can you just repeat the question, ma'am?
I want to know what is it that you have used to build the duster and the blind person support system.
So who wants to go first? Will Manya go first?
Yes.
Yes, please.
So I built many prototypes. Prototype. I'm going to say what are the materials I used. So you can see here. All of you, this is the air pump I've used and filtering air to make it with a small cotton cloth and a painting rollers and also chart papers. I've used all this. I'm sure you're able to see that. Like I'm clear your doubt.
Yeah, Srishti, just say what you have done for the blind person support system.
I have used Scratch from MIT. Kiran sir has already sent the link.
Yes.
Scratch link.
Just one more question, and this is, I don't know, a person, the name says Evil King. Will the Agro Rover robo work on itself after like charging it or making it work, or is it an RC?
No, it would be an RC. We would be powering it by a battery. But if after improvising it, if we have an option to make it automatic or make it rechargeable, we'll go for that.
Thank you.
But Agro Rover will not run in Terran. What about Terran lands?
Sorry, can you repeat?
What about Terran places?
We can use belted wheels for that.
Okay, so we have taken 11:50 now. So what we suggest is please send your questions to the email addresses that we are going to put up now. If you have any questions, students can respond back by email. So Vijay, can we go to the next slide, please? So Manya, over to you.
A big thank you to everyone who is a part of this innovation and thinking webinar. Throughout our webinar, we were pleased to have informative and inspirational stories. We hope you enjoyed the webinar as much as we did. Our heartfelt thanks to Principal Ma'am, Ms. Renu Singh Ma'am, for permitting us to conduct this informative webinar and for providing us an opportunity to share our views and thoughts on our innovation journey. We also extend our special thanks to our ADL in charge Revati Ma'am and our mentor Kiran sir and Leelamika Ma'am, who have guided, supported and helped us refine ourselves with their valuable feedback. In the end, I would like to quote that the heart and the soul of life is creativity and innovation. So keep innovating and keep tinkering. Thank you all.
Vijay, the presentation is not coming.
Yeah, Vijay, if you can make the presentation bigger so that everybody can see the email addresses.
Vijay, can you resume?
Yes, just a second.
Can you post your mail in the chat box?
So is the presentation visible? I mean, screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Can you just present? Can you just give the email IDs in the chat box?
Can you? Yeah, you can see the email IDs and whatever queries and questions you have, you can post it here.
Is the blind person app free?
Is the blind person free? Is that the question?
Yes.
Yeah, you can write to Srishti and she can share the app she has developed with you by email.
I can share the code.
Yes, you can.
So let's keep it on for another minute. Let everybody can write it down.
Sir,
Yes, please.
sir, Sir, for scratch coding, we need wide setup and wide loop.
I didn't follow the question. Can you repeat that again?
For scratch coding, we need wide setup and wide loop.
No, so to code with Scratch, you don't need to have all that. You just have to download that software in your laptop and you can code using the video tutorials. It's very simple. You please have a look at that Planet Code web.
With Scratch,
Yeah, it's an all.
you don't need to actually type the code. In Scratch, you have something called as a block programming, which Srishti has done. If you talk to her, you will understand a little more. In block programming, you just drag and drop the blocks to create a program. You don't need to type, you don't need to have a void block or a setup block like Arduino programming.
Okay, sir.
I hope all of you have got a chance to write down the email addresses. In case the students have not been able to answer all the questions today, please write to them. They'll be happy to get back to you with the answers. Okay, thank you very much. Hope it was useful. Yeah, so
Yes,
we can stop.
Sir, we have to leave.
How long will it take to build the RC plane for Anvesh Abhilal?
Sir, we have to leave or not?
Go ahead, Anvesh.
Yeah, I built 3 prototypes first of the same type, and it took me around 2 months for that. Like building the 3 planes, and later I built the final one. And as I know much concepts about the RC planes, so it took me around 15 days or 20 days to build the final plane.
Having a question. Is the app ready for blind person?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Is the app released in Google Play Store for blind person?
No, it is still in design phase.
Okay.
Okay, Vijay, there is a question for you by one Mr. Arjun Singh. As you said, by 2050, estimated population is 9 billion and unemployment will also increase by using agro rover. Are we not taking away employment opportunities from laborers? Is this question?
So I would say nowadays also the more laborers, because of the hardships involved in farming, are migrating to cities or other jobs. So in the agricultural side, in that side, the labor there is a shortage of labor. So no one is ready to do laboring. So that's leading to decreasing crop production. So if we use more robots and automation there, it will not affect that, because there is labor shortage itself. So
thank you, Vijay. Yeah,
I
think this is one last
question on this. Can I please ask a question? Like using more technology doesn't reduce opportunities, but it increases more job opportunities. Like there will be more technical jobs which will be open.
Excuse
like
me,
the agro repairing and all.
Ma'am, this question is for Shruti. Can she suggest any YouTube channels for coding?
Yeah, I'll send it across.
You can also go to the MIT Scratch website. There are a lot of tutorials where you can learn Scratch programming.
And you can also refer to Planet Code, as told by Manya. They have ready-made tutorials, so you can look at it and you can practice and code.
Excuse me, sir. Code lessons.
Sorry?
By these coding lessons, can we register for that?
Your voice is not audible, it's breaking.
For coding,
yes.
Google has released some teaching.
Your voice is breaking. Can you repeat it or can you type it in the chat?
Please type your question in the chat window.
Yeah, I think Kiran sir, I think we've taken a long time with questions, and it's time to close the meet.
Yeah.
So I would request the participants to lead the meet. Yeah, and you can post the individual questions to the email IDs of the students. Thank you so much for joining us in today's webinar.
Okay, ma'am. Goodbye.
So you can share your questions by email. If you have more questions, please share by email. You have noted down the email addresses, I hope.
Excuse me, sir, on the last question I can ask.
Okay, quickly.
Sir, for the RC plane, we should use only brushless motors, or we can use coreless motors.
No, actually, if you are using big propellers, which are like which have a high elevation and even they are big, and to get more thrust, we can use brushless motors. But when we use coreless motors, we need to use small propellers, which cannot provide the a large amount of thrust to the plane.
Okay, then another question, last question. A plane is controlled by a Wi-Fi board or Bluetooth module or transmitter.
What's the question? Can you repeat?
Is the RC plane is controlled by a transmitter or Bluetooth module and or Wi-Fi module, sir?
No, it was controlled using a like TX and RX channel, which is a transmitter and receiver.
It doesn't use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Clear, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you all for participating. So we look forward to hosting more webinars in the future, and hope all of you enjoyed today, and you'll come back for webinars in the future as well. Please feel free to get back to us with any questions you have by using the email address provided. So thank you again.
For the future webinars, where will you inform that it is there?
We will be sending it to all your school authorities, your teachers, ATL in charges if you have an ATL. And it will also be sent via the mentors and on WhatsApp groups. Like how you received it today, you will receive it similarly.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. So you can all drop off from the call now. Yeah. So Vijay, Manya, Srishti, Andesh, you can all drop off from the call.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.